Hello, this is Jane Goodall, and one of the major problems in the world today is food security and our growing number of the human population. Well, as probably most of you know, I started off in Tanzania, was Tanganyika back then, 60 years ago, studying the behavior of wild chimpanzees, the first person to do so. And I could still be there doing that because they were the best days of my life, out in the rainforest and learning about the interconnection of all living things. The reason I left was because in 1986, I helped organize a conference, and by then there were 6 other field sites studying chimpanzees. And we brought people together so as we could find out how much chimpanzee behavior differed in different environments. And it was a big shock. I mean, I knew there was some deforestation, but I was so buried in my little world of Gombe, I hadn't realized the extent of the deforestation and the rate with which chimpanzee numbers were decreasing with bushmeat trade and trapping, live animal trade, and so on. And of course, habitat destruction. And so I scraped together a bit of money and visited 6 of the range countries, and I learned a lot about the plight of the chimps, but I also learned about the plight of so many of the African people living in and around chimpanzee habitat, the crippling poverty, the lack of good health and education facilities, the degradation of the land. And this all came to a head when I flew over the tiny Gombe National Park in 1990. When I began in 1960, it was part of the equatorial forest belt stretching across Africa. By 1990, I looked down in horror at a tiny island of forest surrounded by completely bare hills. So in 1994, the Jane Goodall Institute began our program Tacare, or Tacare, as we call it, our method of community-based conservation. A group of carefully selected local Tanzanians went into the 12 villages around Gombe. No arrogant white people telling them what to do. Their own people asking what they thought we could do to help them. And that's where we started, restoring fertility to the overused farmland, better health and education, working with the local government. Then, as they came to trust us, we could introduce water management programs, and then we tried to get money for scholarships to keep girls in school during and after puberty, because it's been shown all around the world family size tends to drop when women are well educated, and that's been the big problem in the Gombe area. So we then provided workshops where local people came and learned about family planning. We introduced microcredit programs based on Muhammad Yunus's Grameen Bank. And it's mainly women who select their own environmentally sustainable projects. And they're so proud when they pay back, and they nearly all do. We now work in 104 villages throughout the chimp habitat in Tanzania. And the villages provide volunteer forest monitors who learn how to use smartphones and monitor the health of their forests. They're very proud of it, uploading the information into a platform in the clouds. One of the key components of Tacare was small-scale family farming, supporting these efforts. And after restoring fertility to the overused land, helping people to conduct their own projects, which they chose, with microcredit loans. And this has been amazingly successful. One really good example, there's over 1,000 small-scale coffee farms, shade-grown coffee farms around Gombe, with the biodiversity coming back because of the trees. And these small family farms have a diversity of crops, so that if there's an extra long drought or the rainy season comes at the wrong time, which it does with climate change, they're not reliant on one crop like monoculture. one of the key things about Tacare is that we've introduced our youth program. It's a program, Roots and Shoots, that I started in 1991, began with 12 Tanzanian high school students. It's now in 65 countries, and in all the villages around these chimp habitats where we work, the Roots and Shoots program has been introduced. And again, it's young people choosing projects to make life better for people, for animals, for the environment. And so learning about the different animals, understanding that we need the natural environment for our future. Protecting the forests around chimpanzee habitats isn't just for wildlife, it's also for the future of the local people and future generations. So they've become our partners. And the Roots and Shoots program in all the schools is helping young people understand that animals like us, chimpanzees not only, but baboons and bush pigs and pangolins and all the rest, they are sentient beings and they have a role to play. And so this is a very strong message in our Roots and Shoots programs. So basically, it's all been a very big success. And there's no question, but there are more forests and chimpanzees than there would be if we hadn't started this program. And we hope to scale up Tacare and to scale up the use of satellite imagery and the use of GIS, GPS, and so forth, and spread it out over Africa. And it doesn't just have to be conserving chimpanzees. And so the latest One Health, the health of the people, the health of the animals, and the health of the environment. It's all one, it's all interconnected. So that's really the message. Small-scale family farming, diversity of crops, engagement of the local people, helping them understand the need for conservation and giving them the tools so that they can do conservation for themselves. So thank you very much.